Congratulations. You have made it to day 4 of our 7-day training / challenge of going live. And so very, very proud of you guys because going live, number one, is super scary. Then you get that comfort, like, I can go live, I can do this, right? And then it's like, well, now that I'm going live, I want to impact more people. So there's got to be some strategy, some structure to these live videos. How does that person do it? Or how does that person do it? And how does this person do it? And my gosh, that was a hot mess, right? So I want to share with you this day 4 because you already mastered or working on mastering how to promote, how to title it so people show up. Then on day 2, we talked about how to start your videos, how to get people engaged from the moment, how to talk with them versus at them. And many of you are doing a phenomenal job at that. And I'm so proud of you because that right there gets people invested in staying with you through the entire video. And then on day 3, we talked about the meat and potatoes yesterday. That is a lot. That's the value-driven content that keep people staying live or watching that replay with you. But let's talk about today transitions, right? Many of you are like, how do I transition from my start to my tip 1, to my tip 2, to my tip 3, to my closing, to my call to actions, right? Those transitions sometimes are super weird and awkward, but here's some advice I have for you that have helped me along this journey of learning these live video journey, this live video impact by mentors, but more importantly, by my own personal experience. So let's do this. Right there was a transition. Did y'all catch that? I had told you what we're going to talk about. Then I said, let's do this. Let's jump into this. Let's get started. How many of you guys are excited about this? All examples of that transition from intro to meat and potatoes. So let's chat about this. So the first tip is just that phrase of transition, that phrase that you like to use. And many of us will have a habit phase that we will always use. But sometimes, depending on the topic, it'll be a little bit different. So you transition in. All right, let's get started. So tip number 1 is you want to continue to chat and ask questions, right? So you want to continue that engagement. So as soon as I start into tip number 1, it's probably going to be more than likely a question that introduces tip number 1. So say I'm talking about, say I'm talking about how to get motivated in the morning to start your miracle morning, right? So tip number 1 is, oh my gosh, so do you hit the snooze button? How many of you watching hit that snooze button every single morning? Well, tip number 1 is stop hitting the snooze button. Take that action. Your alarm goes off, open your eyes, and be joyful for the day. So instead of hitting snooze, hit stop and sit up. Hit stop and open those eyes. Do a little bed stretch. Maybe you are, one that has to have your alarm away from your bed. So you have to get out of bed to go hit snooze. So you just hit stop. So tip number 1 is don't hit the snooze button. Tip number 2 is, in my opinion and in my experience, how many of you guys are still groggy? Let's talk about that. You didn't hit the snooze button, but you're still sleepy and groggy and not motivated to get going in your day. Is that you? Well, this tip I think is going to really help you. So tip number 2 is have some water at your bedside. Drink some water, ignite those senses and that palate and that awokenness within inside the body to wake you up in the outside and be ready to take in and start taking action in your day. So, okay, so let's go back to that. So transitioning from starting my video to the first tip, again, I like to use questions. I like to bring people into the conversation and like, yeah, I hit that snooze button. No wonder I still am like not motivated in my miracle morning. Oh, that's a really good tip. Maybe I'll put my alarm over there. So I have to get out of bed. Are you still groggy? You know, you got past the I don't hit the snooze button, but I'm still groggy and tired. Oh my gosh, tip number 2 of drinking water as soon as you wake up. I can do that. So it's tangible actions, tangible information that they can put into action immediately, either that day or the next day, right? So transitions can be done with questions, or you can just blatantly say, all right, so tip number 1 is blah, 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 blah. Tip number 2 is XYZ. But when you do it that way, you really want to make sure you have questions you're asking in the meat and potatoes of that tip. So you're still making them part of the conversation and you're creating that engagement, that communication, that line of like, trust, and knowability is there, right? Like, no, trust. But so those are some transitions. Now let's talk about transitioning from your top 3 tips to your closing. How many of you are watching a video and you're like, just end it? Are you going to end? Okay, enough. You already said that 5 times. Here they go again, and then you just hit. You don't even hear their closing or call to action because it wasn't a solid transition. Now, guys, I still struggle with this. So I'm right there with you. I am better than I used to be, but I still sometimes get caught up in that close. So if you struggle with this, it's okay. You will get better, I promise. We will all be I don't like to say perfect because I'll never be perfect. I will always mess up. I will always have issues and obstacles and challenges, but we can make progress towards our goal of closing the video. So from those top 3, those tips or this how-to, your closing is really a lot of call to action. So if it's a how-to, I always love to just say, you know, oh my gosh, I hope you enjoyed those tips. I cannot personally wait to see how you finished or how your crock pot meal turned out. Drop in the comments a picture of your meal and let me know any of this, you know, your aha moments, like how easy that was, or my family loved the meal. I cannot wait to see your results. I hope this was a very, very helpful video on how to create a healthy, amazing, ready for dinner meal for you and your family with almost zero need for expertise in the kitchen and take you about 5 minutes to put all together. Have an awesome rest of your day and enjoy that amazing dinner with your family tonight. We will chat soon. How do you end? I like to say chat soon. That's just my comfort. That's what I say when I'm messaging people. That's what I say in my emails. So that's me. So how do you end conversations? Like, see you later, or chat soon, or what is it that you say? That's always a great way to end, because then they get used to you and your close, and then you just hit, and then that also gives you that I just said chat soon. I need to hit stop. I need to hit finish, right? So, wow, that was a lot, right? Because transitions happen naturally for some people, but for most of us, it's something we have to work at that becomes a habit and then becomes natural. So drop me some thoughts, some comments in the comments below on, do you struggle with transitions? Do you struggle with ending your videos at the right time versus like rolling through them? What is the struggle? And then after you've watched this and implemented it into your video that you're going to drop your video link below for today, let me know what felt awkward, what felt good now that you had some direction, and what might you focus on in the next video tomorrow to help you master and fine-tune, sharpen the skills of what we just talked about today in transitions. So I hope you have an awesome day. I'm excited to watch your videos. I'm excited to watch you grow and become that amazing live video person that people come to for information, that you deliver the value, you deliver the structure and strategy. So they are like, I'm showing up for her. I'm showing up for him. This is awesome stuff. And remember, to get credit for this, you watch the training, now go implement the information. Take action and drop your link of your video in the comments. We'll chat with you tomorrow. Have a great day.